Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler review series reviews I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink the stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I just got off of work. It was kind of freaking groggy because we had a meeting. There was like an hour and blah, 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 blah. So I need some coffee. But we'll get to that. Folks, super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, I am wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is kind of the case today. I mean, I specifically knew I was going. It wasn't like I found this on accident. I was like, I'm going to go to this place and I'm going to get a thing. So, where did I go? What did I get? What are we doing here, folks? Well, I decided, since I needed some coffee, might as well go to one of pretty much my favorite coffee spot in the area. Boom! It's Brewpoint Coffee. Woo! Ha ha ha! Can we get a thing? Ha 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 ha! Specifically, this is off their special winter menu. This is their Almond Biscotti Latte, which consists of almond and praline syrups, sea salt, espresso, and it comes with your choice of milk. I got whole milk. This is a large. It cost me $6. Just for those who care. I've reviewed a few things from Brewpoint now. I did their Cozy Coquito. I did their warm flannel chai, and I did the peppermint mocha. So, and like I said, this is one of their like special winter menu items. So, you know, if you happen to watch this review and it's like the middle of summer, well, sorry, it probably won't be available at that time. But also have to mention, what with this being from a local spot, and this is like a, you know, sort of local chain, it is going to go in my Eating Out Illinois playlist. That's the name of the playlist, Eating Out space Illinois. Just for local spots that, you know, hopefully get an opportunity to highlight. But anyway, let's give it a go. Let's try some Almond Biscotti Latte. Okay. You can definitely taste the espresso, which is, if you watch me, like, I've reviewed plenty of coffee things, and I always mention, I'm not the biggest coffee guy in the world. I like coffee-adjacent things, like basically take coffee and ram it full of crap so it barely tastes like coffee. So, when it comes to tasting the coffee aspect of it, that can be hit or miss. With Brewpoint, typically, it's been very much a hit. Because for one thing, I think they use, I don't know dick about coffee, but I think that they use good coffee. It always tastes good. Even the aspects of the coffee that I'm usually not that into, I can typically kind of go with Brewpoint. But even beyond that, like, so when I say what I mean, you can taste the espresso, is that you get a little bit of that bitterness, you know, not, you know, and it's not a heavy bitterness. Because for me, the bitterness aspect is the least appealing aspect of the coffee experience. Again, that's why I just cram it full of stuff. But a little bit of bitterness, as long as it has something to balance it out, can be nice because it can create contrasting flavors. And I like contrasting flavors. If you watch my channel, you know that. So with this, that's kind of what you get. The beginning of it is sort of that kind of, you know, almond praline sort of taste that they're talking about. And as that kind of fades away, you get the espresso hit. And that's where you get that little bit of the bitterness that comes through. But it doesn't stick around. It's not the full aftertaste, because kind of at the end it sweetens up a little bit. So it's actually perfectly fine for me. Like, I can totally get along with it. If I have any point of contention, it's that I personally wish that they'd use a little bit more with the almonds and the praline syrup. You can taste it a little bit, to be sure. But again, and I kind of mentioned this, like, I sort of compare them, you know, kind of against a more common equivalent would be like something like Starbucks. Starbucks, they pride themselves on the fact that they have a million billion things that they can add into your coffee. That's, at this point, and it's not even a thing, it's like a legitimate thing where they've done studies. People don't go for like high quality coffee for Starbucks. They go because you can mix and match and do all kinds of shit. With Brewpoint, I think they focus more on their coffee. They know they have good coffee. They know that the people going to their establishment want good coffee. So I do think they go a little bit lighter on some of the flavoring, which isn't inherently a bad thing. It's just if you're used to, you know, again, that Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts kind of experience. But it is nice. And like I said, the little bit of bitterness that you get from the espresso, I can personally go with. It's not a very sweet drink. You know, so if that's something you're looking for, it's not particularly sweet, it's more flavorful. And like, you know, there's a little sweetness there, a little tiny bit. But it's more just kind of the flavor of the coffee, again, with, you know, some of the mixed in flavors, a little bit of the almond and praline and what have you. And sea salt aspect, maybe? Like, I think that's kind of what I'm getting sort of near the end of the whole experience, because I think that's sort of part of the aftertaste. Like, no, it's in there. It's kind of, but it's not part of the aftertaste. It's actually a little bit more towards the middle. Kind of, it's almost like a little bit of a barrier between the sort of almond and praline flavor and the espresso flavor. If you really kind of focus on it, you get a little bit of almost like a savory kind of flavor. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. Two questions have to be asked, though. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm going to go with, for me personally, probably not, and sure. Here's why. For me personally, I enjoy it. It's a good drink. I don't feel like it's quite as unique as some of the other ones that I've had from Brewpoint. What was it? To this day, the one that I've had that I've enjoyed the most has been the warm flannel chai. I loved that. I thought that was absolutely magnificent. Best chai that I've personally had. Whereas with the other ones, I really enjoyed the peppermint mocha. I enjoyed the cozy cojito. I enjoyed this one, but it's a little bit more basic than some of those. Those I felt just had more personality. This one I was hoping for bigger things, but it's still an overall nice coffee drink, and that's why, although for me personally, I think if I were going to, you know, and I know I'm going to go back there, I would try something else off their menu, and barring that, I would go to one of the other ones as my personal go-to, again, like the warm flannel chai, wow. But if I'm recommending it to other people, that is actually something where I can be a little bit more on the positive end of things, because I think for a lot of people, this would work perfectly nice for them if you're more of a direct coffee person. Because again, I'm not. I like coffee to an extent, but I like it filled with stuff and all kinds of flavors and shit. I think that people who like coffee as coffee would appreciate this more than I would. Because I think it does a good job of celebrating the coffee that it has. And, you know, there is some complexity of flavor, but it's not trying to override the coffee experience. Whereas for me, I think I would have liked it a little bit more if it had a little bit more going on with some of those flavors. So that's kind of where it comes into play. If you're kind of like me and you want, you know, stuff that's a little bit wackier, a little bit more personality to it, this one wouldn't be one that I would necessarily suggest. But I think if you're a more dedicated coffee drinker and you'd like the coffee for the coffee and, you know, that whole thing, this one would be perfect for you. So, you know, just depends on the type of person you are. Now, all that said, folks, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. You go over there, have yourselves a truly Biscotti-tastic rest of your life. I mean, I haven't had biscotti in a very long time. I used to work at a bakery a billion years ago, and we would have biscotti. It wasn't fresh, so my first experience with biscotti wasn't very good. But some people liked it. People would buy it at least. But years later, I did go to like an actual coffee shop and have like proper biscotti, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. So I got you. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me, I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Like I said, I mean, it wasn't exactly a terrible experience or anything, but like I didn't particularly want to have to stay after work. Man, I was tired. I just wanted to go home. And they're like, you have to do respirator training. And I'm like, I could pass this test with my eyes closed. I've done it every freaking year for 7 years. Mind you, I say that, and there was a guy in our class who's been there even longer than I have, who at one point actually used to do some of the safety testing stuff, and he went over there and got a question wrong, which was like... Anyway, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there, maybe you're a regular patron to Brewpoint coffee, right? Whether it's the Elmhurst location or one of their other ones. I know there's more than just the one. And maybe you're going to be over there and be like, Brandon, I personally have had the Almond Biscotti Latte, and I happen to think that it is the greatest damn drink that I have ever personally had. And that's perfectly fair. One thing that I always like to emphasize when it comes to these particular reviews and stuff, at the end of the day, I'm just one fucking dude. Like, I try to go over there and give you guys as much of a well-rounded experience, because I don't just want to go over there, sip a couple things, and say it's good, or it's bad. Like, that to me is just, how is that helpful? I'm one guy. I want to go over there and hopefully, try to provide as many options for people to kind of take away from it. But, let's say you are that person and you're like, Rob, well, that's okay too. That's alright. You can hit me up in the comments and be like, and I'll typically just respond in kind, just, hey, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Because, we try to keep it kosher on the sampler platter experience. Anyway, or conversely, maybe don't get so uptight about coffee. Just saying. Bye.